literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is? Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
When we look, you can see families were more than willing to go to the box office to support something like the Minecraft movie, while Rachel Zegler's Snow White continues to plunge. Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends. That's how bad it is right now.
Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie versus Disney's Snow White, which in theory should be quite a battle, but it's not even a fair fight. And it's pretty hysterical, actually, to watch.
Every single one of these reviews is just absolutely brutal. And what you also need to know is that these are not politically driven reviews. I mean, most of them are from the camp that should be supporting Disney, that should be behind this new progressive take on Snow White, and yet they can't, because the film is apparently just that bad.
Rachel Zegler, loudmouth dope.
We're talking about ultra-far left people who believe that men and women are women of your imagination, that your money is not your own, your family is not your own, and that your country is not your own. That's what woke me.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist who's just clinical at this point.
Now, there is no doubt about it that Snow White 2025 is considered by far one of the worst box office failures, not just with Disney, but also in the entire film history when it comes down to live-action remakes.
BBC said Disney's Snow White has a major identity crisis.
But it says, meanwhile, over in the kingdom of crumbled crowns, Disney's Snow White dropped like an enchanted apple.
What they really mean is they're describing a worldview that hates you, that hates everything America stands for.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off an insufferable, whiny brat.
Audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Every mirror and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
You know what's interesting about all this is that the only person waiting in line to see Snow White was Rachel Zegler.
It doesn't need a prince to save her, and not surrounded by having weird people. Oh, okay, just CGI fictional goblins, I guess.
Well, we all basically knew that Snow White was going to be a massive failure at the box office because of Rachel Zegler's controversial statement.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
You know, I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it, you didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White. Right. You should shut up and do the job.
When Rachel Zegler learns about the box office performance of the movie Minecraft and how it totally destroyed Snow White, she loses it. Disney just lit itself on fire and gave the award to a group of pixelated cubes, and you won't believe it. That's correct, people. The new Minecraft movie has destroyed the box office, making Disney's most recent disaster seem like an amateur YouTube skit while the House of Mouse tries to sell its shoddy live-action Snow White.
And of course, this weekend, Minecraft came out, which has absolutely dominated the box office, done significantly better than analysts even projected. And now we're finding out that Snow White has officially crossed $160 million.
So it got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made $2.
According to critics, Minecraft will fail. They claimed that it was too blocky, too basic, or too juvenile to take over major theaters. However, you know what? All of the so-called expert predictions were completely blown off when the film shot to an incredible $300 million worldwide opening. Snow White, meanwhile, made its way to almost $77 million. Yes, you read correctly. Despite Disney's massive marketing budget and unending hoopla, the movie failed miserably over a number of weeks. Terribly. It's so horrible that we have to act as if this never happened. The actual kicker? Ignoring every warning sign the fans voiced, the entire Disney apparatus was relying on nostalgia to propel this movie. It appears that disdaining your own fairy tale isn't the best strategy for drawing crowds to theaters. However, that is only the beginning. Stay tuned for the future chapters of this meltdown, which include enormous finger-pointing, boardroom pandemonium, and a main actress who seems to have forgotten she is playing one of the most legendary roles in movie history.
Turned over 157 million while earning another 144 million nationally. The Minecraft video game was introduced in 2011 and sold more than 300 million copies. It actually has a fan base, user base, people that care about it. In theory, Snow White should as well. Snow White's the movie that made Disney, the studio. They should have been more cautious and careful with their own IP. It's a $1 billion IP. Disney Snow White, faithfully adapted, would have made $1 billion.
The focus of this strange circus is Rachel Zegler, the conceited, obnoxious brat. Disney, for whatever reason, thought it was a great idea to hire a new employee who chose to openly criticize the original Snow White for being out of date. You know, the same Snow White that essentially made Walt Disney famous, started a whole film industry, and is still regarded as a classic around the world. And she believes it to be too antiquated? Fantastic work, Disney. You gave your most treasured role to someone who regarded the original content as if it were trash. Innumerable internet fan tirades claim that Zegler has shifted the focus of the movie from storytelling to lecturing. The original fairy tale was criticized by her for its antiquated ideas during the press junkets.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
As though the audience was demanding a reprimand fit for the 21st century. Imagine being anticipating an accurate adaptation of Snow White, only to have the lead actress essentially make fun of everything you have ever found appealing. A brilliant move. To be fair, Zegler isn't the only one ruining the movie, but her tone-deaf and foolish comments are a major contributing factor. One would think that Disney would control her, or at the very least, offer her some astute PR advice. They instead gave her wide rein to brag about how the old Snow White needed to be fixed. Disney, surprise, surprise. Supporters dislike it when a newcomer who doesn't appreciate the story's origins corrects their childhood favorites. There was nothing except crickets and empty seats from the audience.
Literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is?
Uncomfortably silent, Disney's management allowed the collapse to continue as if they had no idea why people were so incensed. Disney used to be the dominant force in family entertainment. These days, it's that out-of-touch relative who arrives at the party boasting about the good old days and then tries to force kale smoothies on everyone who is only interested in cake. Indeed, a small amount of modernizing is okay, but let's face it, Disney has lost the plot when they begin to drastically alter its masterpieces.
Since you had the marketing material not being all that good, a lot of advertisement really mediocre for this film, and to top it off, they made tons of changes and they strayed away from the source material, which upset a lot of fans.
Insider information indicate that the Snow White train disaster was doomed from the beginning. Modern messages continued to be added through a series of script revisions, each more clumsy than the last. They were too preoccupied with congratulating themselves on their progressive stance to remember that a compelling story is what really makes or breaks a film. They inserted political overtones so obvious that they could have as easily placed campaign posters in the background as they could the fairy tale charm.
Whereas the Snow White model is the message ad infinitum, shoved directly up your, and most importantly, in the most insufferable possible way, screamed at you by an ugly woman for 2 hours.
I realize I'm nothing without your support, unlike Rachel Zegler, so please remember to like and subscribe before it gets much worse. According to reports, the few fans who went to early showing cautioned that the film didn't feel like a fantastic trip, but rather like a dry lecture. What was Disney's response then? By intensifying the lectures. They are currently dealing with the fallout, a humiliating box office failure, and a highly visible black eye. However, at least they can boast about their progressive stance, right? The Minecraft movie was making a ton of money, like it was print on demand, while Disney was busy shooting itself in the foot.
And so let's see how they fared against you. The Minecraft movie breaks box office record with $300 million global opening, while woke Snow White slips again. Minecraft movie was big winner, debut weekend, 300 million?
Critics mocked it, saying it was just another adaptation of a video game. They were unaware that Minecraft has a multi-generational fan base. Adults who have been creating blocky empires since the game's inception, teens who broadcast on YouTube, and children who play on tablets. It turns out that creating an enjoyable, non-political journey is a surefire way to succeed.
Encouraging to see a movie that decided to do the opposite of Snow White, which is, according to all available reviews, including from the people that I trust the very most on this platform, it is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with a message. It is just silly fun for kids, which is what a kids movie should be.
The cinemas were filled. Some showings were quite noisy, which is not appropriate for a children's film.